one of the ways that I face the truth is that I don't lie to myself as much. I don't really lie to myself at all. I face it as it is. And it's really hard. It was really hard at the beginning, especially. And it keeps being a bit hard, but it's like the more I did it, the more courage and the more strength I had to keep doing it. Hello, guys. So, this is how everything started. A couple of years ago, like maybe like 6-7 years ago, I got myself unemployment from the startup that I was working on. And what happened was I just sat down and I started learning a bunch of personal development. And what happened was I came across this study from Thomas Gilovich. It's a psychologist from like 80s, 90s. What happened was he interviewed a bunch of people by their deathbed, right? Like, and people by their deathbed, like they're not gonna lie to you, right? They're gonna tell you the truth. And one of the things that he spoke about was regrets. Like he interviewed the people, asking them a bunch of like, what are your major regrets? What are the things that you regret the most? And what ended up happening is like 76% of those people said the same thing. Their biggest regret is I didn't have the courage to live a life true to myself. Which means like I lived the life that my parents wanted me to live. I lived the life that my husband or my wife wanted me to live. I lived the life that my friends, peers, society, mainstream media wanted me to live. But I didn't have the courage to live my life the way I wanted it, right? And all of that mixed up with a bunch of stuff that I ended up consuming from Gary Vee. What ended up happening is like I realized like, yeah, I don't want to live a life that leads to regret, to a lot of regret when I'm old and when I'm in on the bed in a hospital somewhere, right? So this is where like slowly everything started. It's like I slowly started practicing more and more what is like self-awareness, getting in touch with myself, like getting to understand what are the feelings, what is happening inside, getting to understand my traumas, my triggers, my issues, what was bothering me in a way that I was living, what was like happening around me, what was the dynamic with my family, with my friends, who were the people who were like holding me back, who were the people that were making me feel like uplifted and empowered, and all of those things. And it's like slowly and steadily, I ended up doing like a lot of self-awareness practices that I ended up writing a lot of things on the paper. So like I would track it, I would write it down, and I would do it, and I would update it, and I would like slowly and steadily I would get to know myself, like what would feel good, what would be inspiring, what would be fantastic, what would be diminishing, what like would be draining to me, and what would actually be something that I need in every single moment. And slowly by doing this and that, I also started doing a bunch of volunteering. I started like with a web summit that started here in 2016, and then I slowly went to Isaac and a bunch of others. And that helped me to take charge and to assume responsibility for my life and to let myself know, and it's like to figure out what do I actually want. I just learned a bunch, not just from reading, but also like with engaging with people here and there. It's like I couldn't have imagined that I would be the person that I am today in front of you. Like in the last 2 years, I've hosted like almost like 250 events in 2 years, and all of them were like for impact. I did a bunch of different stuff: men's circles, meaningful conversations, open circles about sexuality. I did so many different things. It's just freaking ridiculous. And the person that I just became through doing all of that, and so many things, so many things that I have learned from just like being surrounded by people and having like really amazing, vulnerable, real conversations, like real freaking conversations where a person would put their soul and heart out. That is like just so freaking amazing. And learning from all of these people, and a bunch of these people are now my friends. And it's just like, it was the most amazing thing. Like, I had no idea that all of this, that thing, that study from those like papers that Thomas Gilovich wrote, that I went to look like, okay, what were the statistics and this and that. It's like, I had no idea that all of that would had as much impact on me that it had, and it would take me here where I'm today. It was not easy. There's was a lot of struggle, a lot of headaches. I learned a bunch of stuff. I learned how to communicate. I learned how to solve conflicts. I learned a bunch of therapy tools, and I learned a bunch. I learned a huge amounts of things, and it's like there's just so many of them out there. Like we have no idea. I had no idea. And this is just amazing. This is just amazing. And the reason that I started was like I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and for some reason I had this instinct that told me it's like that this is the right thing to do. For some reason, somehow it felt like this was the right thing to do, like doing this personal development. It's by far, to me, it felt by far as being the most important thing in life, and that's it. You know, not going out, not drinking, not going after girls, nothing like that. Like actually like sitting down and actually doing a bunch of personal development. That just felt like the most important thing, and just mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing, and it changed my life completely. I see things completely different, and my life is nothing what I was anticipating. And I would say the most important thing from all of that is like, and I'm going to be speaking about this in the next videos about self-awareness, is like I face the truth. One of the ways that I face the truth is that I don't lie to myself as much. I don't really lie to myself at all. I face it as it is. And it's really hard. It was really hard at the beginning, especially. And it keeps being a bit hard, but it's like the more I did it, the more courage and the more strength I had to keep doing it. So I'm going to talk about this in the next video. So sign up for the channel, subscribe, put a thumbs up because it really, really helps the algorithm, and forward this video to a friend of yours. You might just make their day. Okay? And I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.